Listen to me. One day, you're going to wake up, look in the mirror, and realize how much of your potential you've wasted chasing comfort instead of greatness. That moment will burn your soul. You'll remember every excuse, every maybe tomorrow, every time you chose easy over effort. Life isn't a rehearsal. This is the only shot you get. Every second that slips by is a piece of your story written in ink that can't be erased. Stop acting like you have forever. Comfort is a slow killer. It lulls you into believing average is enough, the safety is success, that the opinions of others define your worth. No, greatness belongs to those who fight for it, who refuse to bow to mediocrity, who grind when nobody's watching. Pain will shape you, discipline will define you, and success will only visit those who earn it with sweat, hunger, and relentless belief. Don't live small because others are scared of your fire. You have one life. Make it so powerful that when your time is up, the world remembers your name. Stand up, take control, and demand more from yourself. This is your moment. Own it or lose it forever. Comfort is the enemy of greatness because it quietly destroys your hunger. It whispers in your ear that you're doing fine, that you've done enough, that you deserve a break. And before you realize it, days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and the fire that once burned inside you fades into ashes. Comfort doesn't feel dangerous, it feels safe, warm, familiar. That's what makes it deadly. It convinces you that staying still is okay when deep down you know you were built to move, to grow, to conquer. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary had to walk away from comfort. They had to trade their security for struggle, their ease for effort, their excuses for execution. The truth is, comfort will never give you what struggle can. Struggle builds you. It breaks you open and reshapes you into someone sharper, stronger, more capable. When you step outside your comfort zone, you face fear, pain, and uncertainty, but those are the exact ingredients that create greatness. You can't build muscle without resistance, and you can't build character without challenge. Most people never reach their potential, not because they're not capable, but because they refuse to endure discomfort. They'd rather live average and safe than chase something that demands every ounce of them. Think about it. Everything worthwhile in life comes with a price. Success, respect, legacy, they all require sacrifice. Comfort costs nothing, but it gives nothing. It's a slow poison that feels like pleasure but kills ambition. Every time you choose comfort, you make a silent decision to stay ordinary. You tell the universe you're satisfied with good enough, but good enough never inspires anyone. It never changes the world. Greatness demands obsession. It demands you wake up early when everyone else sleeps. It demands you work while others rest, push when others quit, believe when others doubt. And every one of those moments hurts. It's supposed to. Pain is proof you're moving forward. Discomfort means growth. It means you're leaving behind the version of yourself that was okay with average. The real war isn't outside, it's inside your own head. Comfort is the voice that says you've done enough for today. It's the temptation to scroll your phone instead of studying, to relax instead of training, to settle instead of striving. It tells you that tomorrow is guaranteed when it's not. The most dangerous thing about comfort is that it feels earned, but it's an illusion. The moment you stop pushing, you start decaying. There is no neutral ground in life. You're either rising or falling. You can't stand still and expect progress. Look at those who dominate their fields, the athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. They live in discomfort. They seek it out. They chase the grind because they know every rep, every failure, every late night sharpens them. They understand that success isn't built in comfort zones. It's built in the trenches where doubt, pain, and fatigue live. Greatness requires a level of obsession that normal people call crazy. The normal people also call average living success because they've never tasted the power of pushing past limits. Comfort feeds the ego, but struggle feeds the soul. When you challenge yourself, you're forced to face your weaknesses. You confront your fears. You learn to control your emotions, discipline your body, and master your mind. That's where transformation happens. Not when you're relaxed, but when you're on the edge of breaking and still choose to keep going. The road to greatness is paved with sleepless nights, heartbreak, and moments of doubt. But those who endure become unstoppable. You must understand that every time you choose comfort, you trade long-term fulfillment for short-term pleasure. You trade your future for a fleeting feeling of ease. The problem is, comfort doesn't last. It only leaves you wanting more of it, like an addiction. And soon, you realize your dreams are gone, replaced by memories of what could have been. You'll never regret working too hard, but you'll regret not pushing yourself when you had the chance. Life doesn't reward the comfortable, it rewards the courageous. Greatness isn't born from luck. It's forged through relentless effort and the refusal to quit. The uncomfortable moments, the failures, the setbacks, the lonely nights, Those are the chapters that define you. They teach resilience, humility, and strength. Comfort teaches nothing. It keeps you soft, fragile, untested. When you live in comfort, you lose your edge, your hunger, your spark. But when you embrace discomfort, you discover power you never knew you had. You begin to see that the struggle was never punishment, it was preparation. So ask yourself, do you want to be remembered as someone who chose comfort or someone who chased greatness? Every decision you make writes that story. Every day you either move closer to your dreams or drift further away. Comfort may give you peace today, but it will steal your pride tomorrow. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't special. They're just unwilling to stay comfortable. They understand that growth and pain are inseparable. You have one life, one chance. Don't waste it trying to stay comfortable. Step into the fire, embrace the grind, seek the struggle that shapes you. Because when you finally achieve what you've been fighting for, when you look back and see how far you've come, you'll realize that every ounce of discomfort was worth it. Comfort may be easy, but greatness is eternal. Discipline beats talent every single day because talent alone is worthless without control, consistency, and endurance. The world is full of talented people who never became anything. People who had the skills, the intelligence, the natural ability, but lack the discipline to put it all together. Talent can make you good, but discipline makes you unstoppable. Discipline is what makes you get up when you're tired, work when you don't feel like it, and keep pushing even when no one's watching. It's the bridge between goals and results, dreams and reality. Talent gives you a spark. Discipline builds the fire that never goes out. The truth is, talent is born, but discipline is built. And what's built through struggle and self-control lasts longer than what's gifted at birth. Discipline is the foundation of every success story you've ever heard. Every athlete, entrepreneur, artist, or leader who changed the world wasn't just talented, they were disciplined. They trained when others rested. They studied when others scrolled. They focused when others got distracted. Discipline is the invisible power that separates the dreamers from the doers. You might not be the most gifted, the smartest, or the strongest, but if you are the most disciplined, you will win in the long run. Talent gives you an advantage for a moment. Discipline keeps you ahead forever. Because discipline doesn't depend on feelings, it depends on decisions. Talent fades when motivation disappears, but discipline doesn't care about motivation. It thrives in the absence of comfort. Every day, life gives you two choices, the easy way or the right way. The easy way is driven by emotion, the right way is driven by discipline. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it demands what must be done. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It's saying no to distractions when your mind craves escape. It's sticking to your plan even when the results haven't shown up yet. And that's what makes discipline so powerful. It teaches patience, it builds resilience, it creates focus. Talent can give you success once or twice, but discipline builds a legacy. You see, talent without discipline is like a sports car with no fuel. It looks impressive, it sounds powerful, but it goes nowhere. Discipline is the fuel that keeps you moving forward, especially when progress feels invisible. There will be days when everything inside you wants to stop, when you question whether it's worth it, when the results don't match the effort. Those are the moments that define you. The disciplined person keeps going. They don't chase motivation. They create momentum through habits. And habits built through discipline are unshakable. Once you learn to control yourself, no challenge can control you. The world constantly rewards those who show up, not those who merely have potential. Talent can get you noticed, but discipline keeps you respected. The disciplined person earns their success inch by inch, day by day, while the talented person waits for the perfect moment. But perfection never comes. The disciplined one acts despite uncertainty, while the talented one hesitates, and that hesitation becomes regret. You don't need to be born extraordinary, you just need to show up consistently, because consistency, powered by discipline, compounds into greatness. Discipline builds character in a way talent never can. When you force yourself to do what's difficult, you grow stronger inside. You learn self-control, patience, and humility. You stop expecting life to hand you success and start realizing you must earn it. Discipline teaches you to delay gratification, to focus on what matters, to respect time. Talent makes you proud. Discipline makes you powerful. But talent can vanish with a single failure, but discipline ensures you rise after every fall. The disciplined mind doesn't fear failure, it uses it as fuel. If you look at the greatest performers in any field, athletes like Kobe Bryant, entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, or soldiers who push beyond human limits, they all have one thing in common: relentless discipline. They don't rely on how they feel, they rely on what they've built, their routines, their habits, their standards. They don't break them, not even when it's inconvenient. And that's why they win, because discipline creates structure, and structure creates progress. Without it, even the most talented person will crumble under pressure. The difference between winning and losing often isn't talent, it's who can stay consistent longer. The disciplined person shows up on day 1, day 10, and day 1000 with the same energy and focus. They grind in silence, prepare when no one notices, and execute without needing applause. They know that real success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from thousands of small moments where they chose discipline over distraction. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's repetitive, demanding, and often lonely. But it's the only road that leads to mastery. Every time you choose discipline, you rewrite your future. You build a version of yourself that can't be broken by laziness, fear, or doubt. You become someone others depend on, someone who doesn't quit when things get hard. That's true power, not being gifted, but being in control of yourself. Because in the end, it's not about how much talent you have, it's about what you do with it. Discipline turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It takes potential and turns it into proof. So never envy someone just because they're talented. Talent may open the door, but discipline keeps it open. Talent gives you opportunities, but discipline ensures you're ready for them. Every great success is built on countless disciplined decisions made when nobody was watching. Remember this, your habits will take you further than your abilities ever could. Discipline is the ultimate equalizer. It doesn't care where you come from, what you look like, or what you've been through. If you can master yourself, you can master anything. Talent might make you shine for a moment, but discipline will make you shine forever. Regret is heavier than failure because failure passes, but regret lingers forever. You can recover from failure, you can learn from it, you can rise after it, but regret chains you to the past with no way out. It's the silent weight that sits on your chest when you're alone at night, whispering what could have been, what you should have done, and who you could have become. Failure hurts in the moment, but regret kills slowly. It eats at your soul because it reminds you that you didn't even try, that you let fear win, that you let life slip through your fingers while waiting for the perfect time. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment when you feel completely ready. Waiting is just another word for hesitation, and hesitation is where dreams go to die. People think failure is scary because it's visible, it's loud, it comes with judgment and embarrassment, but failure is honest. It shows you where you stand, what you need to fix, and how strong you truly are. Regret, on the other hand, hides in silence. It doesn't come all at once. It builds slowly over time. You start by saying, I'll do it later. Then days become weeks, weeks become years, and suddenly your chance is gone. If you look back and realize you traded your future for temporary comfort, that's the tragedy of regret. It's always the price of inaction. You don't regret the risks you took even when they failed. You regret the chances you never took. Failure is part of growth. Every successful person you've ever admired has failed more times than most people who even tried. They understood something simple. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path to it. You can't evolve without making mistakes. You can't learn resilience without falling. You can't discover your limits without pushing them. But regret teaches you nothing except pain. It leaves you wondering what might have been if only you had dared to act. That's why regret is heavier. It gives you no lessons, no progress, just a haunting reminder of your own hesitation. Imagine yourself 10, 20, 50 years from now. Imagine looking back at your life and realizing you never chased a dream that once set your heart on fire. Imagine remembering every excuse you made, every opportunity you passed up, every time you let fear make your choices for you. That realization will crush you because deep down you'll know it wasn't life that held you back, it was you. People aren't haunted by what they did wrong, they're haunted by what they never did at all. You can heal from a broken attempt, but you can't heal from a wasted life. The world belongs to those who act, those who take risks, stumble, get up, and keep moving forward. They may fail, but they fail forward. Every time they fall, they learn something that brings them closer to success. Meanwhile, those who wait for the right moment are left behind, watching from the sidelines as life moves on without them. Regret is the punishment for those who choose fear over courage, comfort over growth, hesitation over action. Every second you spend overthinking is a second you could have spent doing. Action builds confidence, inaction builds doubt. When you act, even if you fail, you strengthen your belief in yourself. You prove that you're capable of facing the unknown. But when you hold back, your fear grows, your doubts multiply, and your courage fades. You start to believe that it's too late, that you missed your chance, that maybe you were never meant for more. That's how regret takes over, one small hesitation at a time, until it becomes your entire life story. Failure has a purpose. It humbles you, it teaches you, it refines you, it pushes you to become better, to adapt, to fight harder. It gives you experience, and experience is priceless. Every failure carries a lesson that regret will never offer. People who act and fail live fuller lives than those who never try. because at least they tasted the fight. They felt alive. They faced the storm and discovered what they were made of. Regret, on the other hand, is emptiness. It's the hollow space left behind by the dreams you abandoned. You don't get a second life. You don't get to restart when time runs out. So why wait? Why keep postponing your goals, your passions, your purpose, as if tomorrow is promised? Every day you delay action, you build a heavier burden for your future self. One day, you'll wish you could go back to this very moment, the moment when you had time, energy, and potential, and you'll give anything to do what you were too scared to do. Don't let that day come. Don't become the person who says, I wish I had. Be the one who says, I'm glad I did. Yes, failure hurts. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's temporary. Regret is permanent. You can recover from a failed business, a broken relationship, a lost opportunity, but you can't recover from the realization that you never gave yourself a chance. You can rebuild after failure. You can't rebuild time. Life rewards action, not intention. Dreams die in hesitation. Every great success started as a decision to act despite fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward in spite of it. The truth is, you will fail at some things. Everyone does. But you'll also grow, learn, and evolve. And at the end of your life, you'll be able to look back with pride knowing you lived fully, that you tried, that you didn't let fear dictate your destiny. That kind of peace is priceless. Regret steals that peace. It traps you in the past and suffocates your future. So act now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for certainty. The time will never be perfect, but your determination can make it so. Take the shot. Make the move. Chase the dream. Failure might bruise your ego, but regret will break your heart. And between the two, failure will always be the lighter load to carry. Your mindset decides your destiny because the way you think shapes every decision, every action, and every outcome in your life. The truth is, success and failure begin in the mind long before they appear in reality. Your thoughts are the architects of your future. They build the foundation upon which your life stands. If you believe you are capable, you will act like it. If you believe you are helpless, you will live like it. The difference between people who rise and those who stay stuck isn't luck or opportunity, it's mindset. The mind is a battlefield, and if you lose there, you lose everywhere. But if you win there, nothing can stop you. Every achievement begins with a belief that it's possible. Before any invention, victory, or breakthrough, there was a person who simply believed they could. The mindset of belief fuels persistence, and persistence brings results. When you adopt a strong, growth-oriented mindset, you stop seeing obstacles as dead ends and start seeing them as challenges to overcome. You stop saying, I can't, and start asking, how can I? That small shift in thinking can transform your entire life because it changes how you approach everything. A weak mindset looks for excuses. A powerful mindset looks for solutions. Your mindset controls your reactions to failure, rejection, and hardship. Everyone faces setbacks, but it's how you interpret them that defines your future. A fixed mindset says, I failed, so I'm not good enough. A growth mindset says, I failed, so I need to learn and improve. The first one quits, the second one adapts. The truth is, your external reality is nothing more than a reflection of your internal world. If your thoughts are full of doubt, negativity, and fear, your life will mirror that chaos. But if your mind is focused, disciplined, and resilient, you will find a way to win no matter the circumstances. Most people never realize how powerful their minds truly are. They think circumstances shape them, when in reality, their perception of those circumstances determines how far they go. Two people go through the same storm. One breaks, the other grows stronger. The difference isn't the storm, it's the mindset. A strong mind looks at pain and says, this will make me tougher. A weak mind says, this isn't fair. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. And that response defines your destiny. Mindset is the engine behind every habit, every discipline, every act of courage. When you think with power, you act with power. When you think with fear, you act with hesitation. Your life follows the direction of your dominant thoughts, and that's why guarding your mind is one of the most important things you can ever do. You must protect it from negativity, from self-doubt, from the noise of people who tell you to play small, because your destiny doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. Your mindset determines your standards. If you think small, you'll live small. If you think bold, you'll chase dreams that scare you. Your mindset defines what you tolerate and what you demand from yourself. Winners don't have easier lives. They simply refuse to think like losers. They train their minds to stay focused when everything goes wrong. They don't let temporary failure convince them of permanent defeat. They understand that struggle is a test, not a verdict. When your mindset is strong, no challenge can break you. It might bend you, it might hurt you, but it can never stop you. Changing your mindset changes your identity. When you start thinking differently, you start acting differently. You become more confident, more decisive, more relentless. You begin to realize that success isn't something you stumble into. It's something you create through belief, action, and resilience. The world bends to those who believe in themselves enough to stay consistent when others quit. That's what mindset does. It gives you direction when everything feels uncertain. It reminds you who you are when the world tries to make you forget. A negative mindset creates a prison. It convinces you that you're stuck, that life is unfair, that other people have it better. It blinds you to opportunities because all it sees are problems. But a positive, disciplined mindset creates freedom. It gives you power over your emotions and clarity over your purpose. You start realizing that every difficulty is a stepping stone, every rejection a redirection, every delay a setup for something greater. When you think this way, life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Mindset is also contagious. The people around you will either fuel your growth or feed your doubt. That's why you must surround yourself with those who challenge you to think bigger, act braver, and live better. Your environment influences your thoughts, and your thoughts influence your destiny. If you spend time around negativity, you'll absorb it. But if you immerse yourself in ambition, you'll start to rise to that level naturally. Protecting your mindset is not selfish, it's survival. Every great transformation in history began with someone who refused to think like everyone else. They didn't accept limitations. They didn't see impossibility. They saw opportunity where others saw defeat. That's the power of mindset. It turns ordinary people into legends. The moment you realize that your thoughts create your world, you stop blaming others and start taking full control of your destiny. You begin to understand that the only real limits are the ones you accept in your mind. Your life right now is the result of the mindset you've had up until this point. If you want a different future, you need a different mindset. One built on discipline, resilience, and unshakable belief. Train your mind to focus on progress, not perfection. Focus on what you can do, not what you can't. Because once your mindset becomes unstoppable, so do you. Destiny isn't decided by chance, it's decided by choice. And that choice begins with how you think. The moment you master your mind, you master your life. You live so boldly that mediocrity fears your name. Because life is not meant to be lived quietly, safely, or halfway. You were not born to blend in with a crowd or tiptoe through existence, afraid to stand out. You were born to shake the ground when you walk, to live with purpose so fierce that ordinary minds can't understand you. Mediocrity thrives on fear, hesitation, and comfort. It feeds on people who play small, who hide their light just to make others feel comfortable. But when you decide to live boldly, you declare war on mediocrity itself. You stop apologizing for wanting more, stop dimming your fire, and stop waiting for permission to live the life you know you're meant for. To live boldly means to embrace the risk of being misunderstood, to face judgment, and to keep moving anyway. It's realizing that people will doubt you, criticize you, and sometimes even hate you. But none of that matters if you're living your truth. The world doesn't remember the cautious, it remembers the courageous. It remembers those who dare to dream beyond the limits of logic, those who refuse to settle for average. Living boldly means having the audacity to chase something greater than yourself, even when the path isn't clear. It means standing tall when others bow, speaking your mind when silence is easier, and moving forward when fear tells you to stop. Mediocrity is seductive because it's easy. It asks nothing of you except your potential. It doesn't demand discipline or passion. It only asks that you stay comfortable, but comfort is the enemy of greatness. Every bold soul that ever changed history had to step away from comfort and into chaos. They had to take risks, face failure, and defy doubt. Living boldly doesn't mean you'll always win. It means you'll always try. It means you'll look back on your life without the sting of regret because you gave everything you had. You lived all the way to the edges. When you live boldly, you become a threat to mediocrity because you prove that it's possible to live differently. You become a reminder to others that settling isn't necessary, that safety isn't success, and that purpose is worth more than peace of mind. Mediocrity wants you silent, boldness makes you loud. Mediocrity wants you small, boldness makes you unstoppable. It's not arrogance, it's confidence born from discipline, belief, and action. Living boldly means carrying yourself with power even when you're uncertain. It means taking up space, chasing big dreams, and refusing to shrink yourself to fit in. Most people don't live boldly because they fear failure. They fear what others might think if they fall short. But here's the truth. Failure doesn't kill dreams. Fear does. Every time you let fear make your choices, you hand your destiny to mediocrity. Bold people fail all the time, but they don't let it define them. They use failure as fuel, as proof that they're trying, that they're alive, that they're growing. Living boldly isn't about never being afraid. It's about being afraid and doing it anyway. You have to live with a fire in your soul, a hunger that refuses to die. You have to wake up every day knowing that time is running out and that the only way to honor this gift of life is to live it fully. Be relentless in your pursuit of greatness. Speak your dreams into existence, even when people laugh. Work when others sleep. Believe when others doubt. Because the moment you decide to live boldly, the world starts to shift around you. Opportunities appear where fear once stood. Doors open for those who dare to knock loudly. Living boldly means being willing to walk alone for a while. It means standing by your vision when no one else can see it. The bold understand that solitude is part of the journey. While others look for validation, the bold look for progress. They don't need approval, they need purpose. And because of that, mediocrity cannot touch them. Mediocrity relies on groupthink, on blending in, on doing what's safe. But boldness breaks patterns. It disrupts. It inspires. It forces others to question their own complacency. That's why mediocrity fears the bold. Because bold people expose its weakness. You have one life, one chance to make it count. So why waste it trying to fit in when you were born to stand out? Living boldly is not about being reckless. It's about being fearless in the face of risk. It's about trusting yourself enough to leap even when the ground looks far away. It's about setting standards so high that mediocrity can't reach you. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you separate yourself from the masses. You start to live on a frequency where average people can't operate, because mediocrity cannot survive in the presence of relentless ambition. Bold living isn't just about achievement, it's about impact. It's about leaving behind something that echoes after you're gone. It's about creating a life that inspires others to rise higher, to push harder, to live freer. When you live boldly, you become proof that greatness isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone willing to fight for it. You become a symbol of what's possible when a human being refuses to be average. So make this your mission. Walk into every room like you belong there. Speak with conviction. Move with purpose. Chase your dreams so fiercely that even failure is proud of your effort. Don't let fear silence you. Don't let doubt slow you down. Don't let comfort chain you to mediocrity. Because the moment you choose boldness, your life stops being ordinary. You start living with fire, direction, and meaning. You become the kind of person who doesn't just exist. You inspire, you create, you conquer. Live so boldly that mediocrity trembles when it hears your name. Let your passion be too loud for the timid, your vision too bright for the ordinary. Leave no part of your potential untouched. Because when your time is up, the only thing that should remain is the echo of your courage and the legacy of your fire. So in the end, remember this. Life will not wait for you. Time is moving whether you act or not, and every moment you hesitate, a piece of your potential dies quietly. Don't live your life trying to please everyone or fit into a mold that was never built for you. Live with purpose, live with hunger, live with passion that shakes the ground beneath your feet. The world doesn't need another average soul going through the motions. It needs someone willing to rise, to fight, to inspire. You have everything it takes to live boldly, to break limits, to build something extraordinary from your existence. Refuse to settle for what's easy. Refuse to let fear dictate your choices. Make your life a statement of courage, a message to the world that you didn't come here to be ordinary. Let your actions scream louder than your doubts. When you walk your path with conviction, mediocrity will step aside because it fears those who dare to live fully. You only get one life. Make it so bold, so unstoppable, and so unforgettable that even time itself remembers your name.